We're back with another episode of Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale with Don and Kevin. This is where we connect with people who make our city great.
We do.
How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Don?
You're getting ready for a big trip.
I am going to be flying overseas.
Oh, my gosh. Bucket list trip.
Yeah, it's be fun.
You're going to tell us where?
Well, I'm going to Spain.
Spain, okay.
Or España.
España.
As they say, right?
When you're over there, take a look at the wildlife and the gardens and the florals and all that, because we have a guest today that can maybe give you some tips, right?
I will. Okay.
Today we're joined by Dr. John Weser. He's the director of the Center for Native and Urban Wildlife at Scottsdale Community College. Under his leadership, the center has become a hub for hands-on conservation, connecting students and the community to Arizona's unique desert ecosystems. From restoring habitats to inspiring the next generation of environmental stewards, John is helping people see that wildlife and urban life can thrive together. John, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you here. I've known about your center for a long time. You've got some big events coming up, so we're just excited to have you on the air today for sure.
I appreciate it.
So as we get started, though, tell us a little bit about your background. You know, where you're from, how you got to Scottsdale Community College, and then we'll get into the center after that.
Sure. Yeah. Originally, like probably 90% of the people here, came from Chicago.
Yeah. Common thread.
Yep.
Came with my parents as a teenager, and my dad settled here with his business in Scottsdale, and then we lived in Fountain Hills, and I said, wow, I could go hiking in nature any old time. Right across the street when you lived in Fountain Hills back in '79.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah, right.
I've been here since '79.
Wow.
And then I got my all 3 degrees at ASU. So I stayed here and started teaching back in '89, college.
You teach biology, right?
Teach biology,
okay.
yes. So I got my degrees in zoology and natural science and PhD in biology, and then I started teaching and taught a little bit of high school, still taught the community college, said, I really like this, and been teaching at SCC since 1996.
Really?
And with the Maricopa Community College District since 90.
Wow, no kidding.
I'm a little bit of an old timer.
If you grew up in Fountain Hills back in the 79 or so, what a change you've seen in Fountain Hills in that time.
Oh, yes.
My goodness. I mean, the changes everywhere, but places like Fountain Hills particularly, right?
Oh, yeah, everywhere. Everywhere is expanding, adding new shopping centers, I don't know how long you've been here, but
82
I
for
remember
me. Right.
when I got here, US 60 stopped at Country Club at Arizona Avenue. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of growth, a lot of development, but still a great place to get out, great experience nature, great place to just
the trails
to live.
In the McDowell
it's beautiful,
Mountains,
yeah.
And I'm there all the time. Now that the weather's getting better,
and no shoveling snow.
I'm a big hiker. I love it out there. Yeah, I mean, it's all beautiful for sure. So tell us about the center. You know, what's its mission? How did it get started?
Sure. So a colleague of mine, Roy Barnes, is no longer with us. He was biology faculty at SCC, and he and I were attending meetings and so on for other things. And he said, we need to put together something that we could offer our students that allow them experiences outside the classroom. So hands-on experiences to learn, and we chatted. We kind of had the philosophy that you learn best by doing,
and the truth, right?
And you retain it too. That's important is to retain it and those skills. So he kind of wrote that down. I was there, and we pitched it to our biology department, saying, we should form a kind of an entity, a center that allows students to experience conservation, and then also to take those experiences and what they're learning in the classroom and learning elsewhere and to teach it to younger kids. And so kind of tie it together, your college experience with teaching younger kids. So the department was all on board with that. We pitched it at the time. Our president was Art Decabooter, who loved the idea, and Art was great. I was fortunate to be able to work for Art, and he loved it. And so since then, we've gotten support from our administration and our faculty, and we really use it to kind of enhance the overall learning experience of our students, because that's outside the classroom, and then also to contribute to the community. So we have a fourth grade education, third and fourth grade outreach program, where it teaches them about local biodiversity, and we have a nature center with a number of local amphibians and reptiles and bugs and we bring
things that fourth graders love.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, and it hits
Right?
their science standards, and so
for sure.
they come on for free field trips because a lot of them can't afford high prices to go
Yeah.
elsewhere. So we use our students whenever we can to teach them about the local biodiversity, and we've landscaped the grounds to use as teaching areas, and we use those as part of the field trips, and then we do a lot of outreach. That's one of them. We have a lot of connections within the city and go to events. And so we've had over 50,000 fourth graders come on campus since
Really?
2001. All free, all by volunteers and our whopping 2 staff members.
You're overstaffed, aren't you?
Yeah.
2 staff members.
How many field trips do you have? Like a week?
It varies. We're limited a little bit because we can't take on. So what started as like 30 size classroom, a 30, became 90 to 100, and it's very difficult for us to be able to handle that and coordinate it with. We really need volunteers more because students are so busy now that their schedules don't fit into when we can do those. So we can't run them that often. We were running them at times every couple weeks or so, you know, and now it's a stretch of what fits into their schedules, the teachers and all that.
So what inspired you to dedicate to native wildlife and conservation education? Why that particular field when biology is pretty widespread? What was the niche there that you had passion for?
I think, my background, I love the outdoors. My colleagues also had that conservation. Roy was really strong in that, and my current colleagues as well, and who've been there, have that conservation education slant. We're educators beyond one, and so we've always been out in the community, doing events, trying to teach, trying to communicate, and I think, exposing kids and adults to what's around you is really important, and I think a lot of that has to do with students. We're so busy now. A lot of us are and grow up further removed from nature, and there's so much around us, and there's so many simple things we can do to attract them, even in urban wildlife. So I think we wanted to kind of give back and show what's there and give them those opportunities. And a lot of our community college students come in and we're like, hey, there's really cool stuff here. Come with us. We can show you these things, because they may not be able to do it on their own, and then kind of set those wheels in motion and get them involved in different aspects of biology. But you're right. Biology's cool. I mean, I get interested in so many things, but this is where my passion has been for 39 years.
I think that's
Are you
fantastic.
finding that when kids come out and learn, are they less involved because of like screen time and we have this generation of kids who are addicted to their phones and screens?
It's hard to know because we kind of started beforehand, before all of that and after that, and it's not only them, it's with our own students too. I think it's just giving them opportunities to see what's there, and to have people who are willing to kind of show them what's there. Because I think we're all curious about what's around us.
Probably refreshing sometimes, I bet, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the native species in the desert environment that people might be surprised to learn about?
Oh, well, I think it's the stories that are out there too. So there's a lot. I mean, just in general, people know a little bit about saguaros, but they don't know their whole lifespan, or they don't realize how many other species depend on them. So there's many that use them for food and their seeds and nesting, and but it trickles down. And so there's things like Gila monsters. People like, okay, those are cool or gross, whatever.
Well, don't go up and play with them. Though.
No, no. I mean, they're color coded to warn you, right?
You don't want that bite coming in.
No, they got that orange and black. They say warning all over them. But most people don't know, like, the proteins in their venom are what was used for these GLP-1 blockers that we see.
That's right.
Did I know that?
You know,
Really?
You knew that?
I actually learned. Well, I learned it recently. So yeah.
so
You know a lot more than we think he knows.
But I think that just goes to show you one of the things we try to get people to think about is the value of wildlife. And that can occur at many levels, right? Ecologically important, like I said, with the saguaro, or maybe it's human health related, like we see maybe with a Gila monster. But I think there's just a curiosity sake too. There's a lot of, we could take common bugs and just kind of, people will be surprised as what they're able to do and how they survive in the desert.
Right.
Like, we think it's bad, but we can go into cool areas, right? Go swimming. How do they survive during, those cicadas that annoy people that buzz at night, right? They're tapping into the water of the plant that they're on.
Yeah.
And so they're able to, lose water but still gain it. So there's a lot of neat things. People are surprised and think saguaros that their roots are only a few feet deep and they go out laterally, where a mesquite tree goes 170 feet down.
There's some stats for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
If you like stats, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like that. Those are great. I kind of knew that, but I didn't know mesquite trees went that deep. I knew saguaros did not, but that's deep for a mesquite tree for sure.
It is.
Yeah. Which is why it always pains me when I see them blown over when we have our monsoons.
Well, and that goes into how they're watered and, what you're encouraging and how you're pruning them. That goes in a whole other thing, which we do. But we have that kind of grounds on campus that we've planted, and we have great dynamics with our grounds, so they allow the center, myself, areas that we use for teaching. So we have a lot of native plants, and we show how you can attract wildlife with those plants. But we do it without kind of buzz cutting them and really reducing them, and we know why they're needed, that kind of cutting in certain, public areas and all that, but we can use it, and people can come on and they can see the wildlife. We've got nesting birds and we've got hummingbirds, and we have areas, I don't know if you've been out there lately, but we have areas that our students love to wander. We have people from all over coming in to look at the landscape and to learn how you can, simple things of the choices you plant, these native plants, to attract native wildlife, can support pollinators, can support wildlife. So it looks a little rough in some areas. I call it rustic or natural.
Yeah.
But it's because it's not over pruned and heavily pruned. And we get monarchs coming, and we tag monarchs, and we do, it layers, right? So you show how you can attract wildlife, and now we have wildlife, and now we do citizen science projects and other projects that we get our students involved with. So it's multiple levels. So we can influence or not influence, but teach the community. People can come on. And then we also teach our students, and we also teach younger students.
It's pretty dynamic. So paint a picture, if you will, since don't have the visuals. What's it look like? How big is it? Where is it on campus? Just describe the
Our center is humble. We have, I guess we call it, we like to recycle whenever we can, but we use these small portable buildings. But our center, I like to look at it as not one place. That's our live nature center. And we have great use of space. We have really cool, we have open house almost every day. And students come in, we have people from the community come in just to see a lot of the local wildlife of reptiles, like I said, and amphibians and bugs. But then we've landscaped the grounds. And we use those as teaching centers too. So just walking through there, you can look for birds. We get birders. We're on eBird, which is Cornell's website for birders. Basically, they document. We're at about 181, 182 species of birds. Yeah.
Wow.
For the campus, seen on and around the fields and our campus, and so that expands to there if you look at it. And then we have a growing area that we do research there, and we grow plants for restoration. And then we have part of our greenhouse that we utilize for restoration. So we grow saguaros. We got a lot of baby saguaros, and we grow mesquites, and we grow other native plants for, for monarchs or for whatever, for restoration projects that we're involved with in the city, in the McDowells, or in with our tribal community, which we sit on, and so we have a good relationship. So the center kind of has these facilities. There's a building that has our live nature center, and then we can expand outward because you're always learning, I think.
That's fantastic. Do you have collaborations with other organizations like the McDowell Sonoran Conservancy or Desert Botanical Garden?
Yeah, we do. So we've been partnered with the McDowell Conservancy since I've been there. I've been meeting with them since '99, and as you know, our Decabooter was really strong with them as well. And I sit on their scientific advisory committee. I've been sitting there, and we do projects. I do bird counts, butterfly counts, and we get to bring our students, and that's the great relationship. They are doing projects, let's say, with desert tortoises. They invite me and my students so the students can experience some of what they're doing and the research they're doing. So it's a great way they can hands-on learn. And then I have partnerships with Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, their Department of Natural Resources. So we do restoration projects, we do education programs with them. And then, like you said, with Game and Fish, we have City of Scottsdale. Sometimes we intermingle quite a bit, and we have to with the McDowell Conservancy. And then Botanical Gardens, we know researchers over there, so talk about, monarchs and milkweeds, and we've had students volunteer over there and get internships, and I work with Butterfly Wonderland, and we've had students go internships there. So we try, because I think it's stronger, we bring in different groups. It means different opportunities for our students potentially, either for volunteering or for internships, and just meeting the researchers.
Mm-hmm. So Kevin, I think they've got the 25th anniversary event coming up, right?
Yeah. Tell us about that. What are you guys going up there?
Sure. It's 25 years. So
and you've been there for all of them, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. So we started in 2000, and humble beginnings. We started there, and just, the first group that was there was led by Roy, but then we needed a formal director, and that was Virginia Cordy, and then we had our staff with that, and they really set the grounds for our education program and our restoration efforts. And so we started there and just been building and kind of expanding what we do out into the community, and then also weaving ourselves into the kind of the fabric of SCC as well. So we really bring in a lot of students from different disciplines. They don't have to be biologists. So we wanted to just kind of celebrate, really say thank you to everybody who set those foundations and the students who participated. Some are working at the Botanical Gardens now, and others are lead growers for nursery, and so we just want to say thank you, and in that we wanted to try to generate, if we could, some funds, and we wanted to do some fundraising, because what we do is outside the classroom, so that's not supported from within the classroom. So we need we're always looking for additional funds and support, because growing plants, running we call it a micro nursery, requires a lot of time. And we have a great relationship with volunteers that are stewards with the preserve, McDowell Conservancy, and they're able to use some of that time to volunteer, and they love volunteering, growing plants. But we also have students who are doing undergraduate research. So we have a population of burrowing owls on campus.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're studying those, and we're kind of including a little more sophisticated technique to understand what those owls are eating, and that's sending samples from their owl pellets to a lab up at NAU to get DNA barcoded. And what that does, it tells you what species are in them. But that is a little bit costly, so I try to save funds and get funds and allow them to send more and more to get more information as to how they're eating over that whole course of the year, from when they have young to when they're dispersed. And then we would like to expand some of what we do with our education program. So we often really trying to kind of compensate some of our students and their time with internships and things like that.
That's great.
So
So
that's
what
what
is-
we're trying to fundraise for
you
and
have
say
a
thank you.
couple of events coming up for that too, right?
We do. That's the biggest event. That's going to be on the 20. I got my dates because I have so
There you
many for you. It's Friday the 20.
Get the plant sale coming up. You got a big dinner coming up. The plant sale. Is
Yeah, the
October
plant sale's
16th.
next week. So
Yeah.
the plant sale's the
October
16th and 17th.
October 16th,
so
17th,
we
right.
usually have those always with us. Our big event is coming up Friday the 24th.
Friday the 24th.
So-
Tell us about that. What is that?
Yeah, that one's an evening where we have tables, seating, seats available to be purchased. All those go into helping with our students and our projects that we're doing. And so we'll have an evening there, dinner. We're out on the grounds by Two Water Circles, what it's called. We have a nice little riparian area, native riparian area with pollinators galore out there, and we have native fish out there. So it's a really wonderful setting in the evening, and we'll have some tours of the nature center. We'll also have dinner, like I said, and we have a 25th anniversary video that we're going to show, and some speakers, students who
Oh, great.
have gone through our program and what they're doing now. And
That's fantastic.
So
Well,
it's
tell us the date
wonderful.
again on that.
That's going to be Friday, the 24th of October.
Okay. Friday. Mark it if you want to support what you're hearing today. Then get out there and go to dinner and give them some money and have some fun and look at some great stuff that's going on
Yeah.
out there for sure. Yeah.
You mentioned Virginia Cordy a little bit ago. What was her role again?
She was our first director.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
of our center. She got us going and on course and pulled all that our team together from education to doing our restoration, everything.
Don, I went to Pine Top this summer for a little bit.
You did.
And I got to see Virginia up there. And one of my favorite days the entire summer, you'd think we'd be playing golf or something like that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite days was driving around in Virginia in her truck, in her beloved truck, and driving through Greer and Springerville and Eager and all those places
Beautiful.
and having Virginia point out the vegetation, the native plants, the species that we were looking at. I mean, it was like going on a history trip with somebody who is very knowledgeable about the biodiversity. It was just such a wonderful day. It was my favorite day of the summer.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
We were fortunate to have her to kind of kick us off and get us in the right direction and good solid foundation.
Well, she's been a long time leader here, so I'm not surprised to hear any of these stories. It sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool for sure. So, Art, just to take it off the campus for a second and maybe give some people some lessons about what they might be able to do. I mean, urban areas and wildlife often seem at odds. How can cities like Scottsdale create more harmony
Oh, I think
between development and nature?
Yeah, I think, again, adding those green belts, adding those green zones, they did a great job long ago with that green belt. But we always like to promote more plantings with native plants. The reason is that our native wildlife have evolved with those plants, and they know how to use them. They know how to use them for nesting. Doesn't mean other things won't use them or they can't introduce. But we want people to stop and think about the ecological role that those plants you're choosing may play, because it expands the benefit so much. It's flowering. And so I think using those plants around wherever in the city, I think also encouraging, we often say we have a little starter kit you can come by.
Okay.
And, it's not necessarily a kit, but we say, hey, here's a few plants you can start with, and these will do well in a potted plant on your balcony, but you may attract hummingbirds with these, or you might get some butterflies. And so it's kind of, they're native plants. They can do well in, certain ones can do well in pots and tolerate our heat. And it's like, these are just those simple things you can do, and you can bring them with you. I mean, we always like bringing stuff from where we come from, and that's some of the problem, that we don't have wildlife that necessarily use it. It may look pretty. We're trying to say, hey, make it pretty and benefit the wildlife for it. And so I think those types of recommendations the city can do is, how you're planting. And I think also how you're trimming too. Some of it, we like over trim, and we'll trim things down to little stubs, and then you go by and you're like, well, they just trimmed those and it was just getting ready to bloom.
Oh, right.
And now it's a little hedge, which is not supposed to be a hedge, and then, or you do it right before summer, and then we got to replant that next year because it got cooked. But, some of our desert plants, let's say you put in desert plants and then you trim them. So I've seen milkweeds just trimmed down. Well, milkweeds don't grow that way, and they don't respond from being trimmed. So whatever you wanted to plant for butterflies, not going to help for many years when they try to regrow back. So, and then you see it also, right, with some of our trees. Let's just keep pruning them further out, and then you make like a little lion tail. It's really heavy on the outside of a lot of vegetation and very thin. Our desert trees, they don't grow to like an oak tree, really tall. So you're putting a lot of weight, right, on those limbs. And what's going to happen? They break in the storm because they were trimmed like these older, trimmed trees like we're used to from other areas of the country where we come from, and they break. And then people go on and don't buy that again because they can't withstand that.
Not the tree's fault.
Yeah, and so, I think also just where you place them too, and trying to kind of clump them and make kind of resources as opposed to one here and one there and one there. It's nice versus.
What I love about that is you're taking that down to what not just what cities can do, but what individual people can do in their own homes.
Yes,
which is really powerful. And I'm guessing that if they were to take a little trip out to your center, they might learn some tips too, right?
Oh yeah. Come out to our plant sale, or even come see us if we're there. You can ask questions. We get people drop in. You can wander the campus and look at. Right now we've got lots of birds. We got lots of butterflies, and you can actually see what the plants look like. I think that's also very valuable.
Sure is.
So you can wander, come in free of charge.
Free of charge, and now the weather's getting better.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect time, right?
Yes,
What
exactly.
I love about being on campus at SCC is it's so quiet. Right? I mean, you can see the freeway. You're right there. It feels like you're so close to the urban environment, but it's just really peaceful out there.
I love the campus environment out there. It's a beautiful campus. It's on Native American land.
Yeah.
And you're right. You don't think you don't think there's a highway right next to you.
Yeah.
You can't even hear it. It's a beautiful campus, no question. Yeah. John, what a great conversation. Really
well, thank you.
Grateful for the work that you're doing for our community, the work you're doing at the college. You've been doing it for a long time, so you obviously are well rooted in that, so to speak. And so I had to throw some root channels into this thing.
We're trying to plant the seeds too.
Plant the seeds as well. Plant the seeds for your events coming up. And just great catching up with you.
Yeah, we have. And if you want seeds, by the way, we have one of our librarians started a Maricopa seed library.
There you go.
And so we have free seeds outside our center.
Okay.
And you can take a pack or two, 3.
I just might do that next time on the campus, man.
Don will be over there in about an hour.
I'll be over there for sure, no question. Because
that's what I should have brought with
I
you.
get to the campus once in a while, but I'll be sure to stop by and get some seeds for sure. Now that the weather's turning and things are growing again, which is great.
Yeah.
Not that they stop in the summer, as we know, from a biological standpoint. But a great conversation, John. Thanks for all the work you're doing. Really appreciate that. And you spend some time with us, and really, hopefully, people will connect with the center.
Thank you.
Hopefully, they can go out and see it.
There's one more jewel in Scottsdale.
Totally.
That we have at our disposal, underutilized, maybe not as well known, but still, what a great asset to our community that the Center for Native and Urban Wildlife is there.
Fantastic. Support the center. Go to the fundraiser on the 24th of October, and just go out and be present and see what they have to do out there. And thank you all for listening as well. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends. Come out, take them out to the center. Do a little road trip out to the center and see John and his operation out there. We'll be back soon with another episode of Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale.